look to this spring compared to last year when you were new and you were kind of learning everything, what is the biggest difference for you? How do you feel going through your second spring at Ford?
I would say I'm probably most of all more comfortable. Got more in the playbook, understanding like the full meaning of the offense, schemes, runs, different type of blocks, and situational football. So overall, I would say I'm more comfortable just with the whole scheme of things.
Yeah, to follow up on that, Kirby said last year they were on you a lot about your physical toughness, what you're doing without the ball. Just what do you remember about acclimating to that this time last year, and how much better do you think you've gotten blocking and stuff like that this year?
Honestly, I feel like that it just helped like my overall game, just made me a better player. I feel like people look at what you do without the ball, and I feel like there's some like a main point that I wanted to hit on and just improve for me. Like if the ball doesn't come my way, block or find somebody to block and just be an asset to the team and not a liability just standing around.
Sort of along those lines, you've been through that transition before. What would your advice be to the three guys that are transferring in and being a part of this offense for the first time in the spring?
Honestly, for those three guys, they're actually coming along great with the playbook. As far as like our team runs, physicality and stuff, they're really bought in. I just say, just tell them, just like honestly enjoy it. Just don't take it with a grain of salt. Like actually like enjoy it, the struggles, the good times, the bad times, which they have. And I've seen all three of those guys, our whole room actually grow tremendously. So I would just tell them just enjoy the journey, just keep striving, just keep having fun.
Yeah, what have you seen out of Dylan Bell this spring and how he's continued to develop as a wide receiver with you guys?
I feel like my guy D Bell, along with all of us, have been just growing in every which way he can. I feel like all of us are kind of like interchangeable parts. Like we can all play each other's position, which I feel that makes us really versatile because you don't know who's gonna line up where, what that person gonna do. They might be in the backfield one play, they might be on the outside the next. So I feel all of us are just really just interchangeable parts, helping each other grow. If somebody has a question, we help them out. I feel like that's just like the motto of our room, which is CTG, so change the game. So yeah.
Don Kirby was saying that you've had some days this spring that you look pretty dominant out there. He was saying that didn't know if that's because of your grasp of the offense or how much it has to do with Tyke and Kamari not being here anymore.
I'm gonna actually give kudos to Tyke, Kamari, Bull, Malachi, Jonell, Dan, pretty much all like the secondary defensive guys that I had to go against. They made me a better football player. They made me tougher. So I give kudos to them. And I also call those guys like on some of my days off just to ask them from a defensive standpoint, like what is this DB doing on this down with this distance? Like what are they typically looking for in this coverage? And how is the way that I could beat that? Or like what don't you like when a wide receiver does this that may get you like off your pivot? So I really just kind of picked their brains. Even though we was once here competing together and playing on the same field, I still look at those guys as my brother, even though that they, on to the next, going to the league. Once a dog, always a dog. So I still look to them for pointers. And yeah, overall, those guys have made me tougher and a better football player.
Can you talk about developing a chemistry with a quarterback and where you stand with Carson and things like that?
So me and Carson, along with all of the quarterbacks, we all get throws after practice. Depending, we all get throws after practice, whether it's a team run, practice, just coming out on a Sunday and throwing. After we get done with our 4-play rack, I always ask them, was this route good? Is there a place that you want me? I do that with all the quarterbacks because I feel like, Carson may not know who's going to be in for this play, and I may not know what quarterback I'm getting the ball from. So I feel like you got to develop a connection with everybody. And that way y'all can be on the same page and there's no bumps in the road if change comes to happen. So this connection, really just getting repetition. So that's what I think it is, repetition.
Just going with that connection, was there a point last year where you felt like you got on the same page with Carson, learning a new quarterback? Was there a point you can think back to where you felt like that really happened?
I would say since I first got here, like when I had first got here, I had hooked up with him and just asked him I also asked him from a quarterback standpoint, if you can help me with the playbook as well, like is there a certain look that you want me to run the route this way? You want me to do this, do that? So I just felt like, once again, like repetition, but really like every game is different because you're going to get a different team with a different scheme. So I don't really be focused on myself. As long as we win, that's really all I care about. So when we win, we all connected, and I feel like we one big connected family. So. Yeah.
Hey Dom, even though it's real early, you're still learning and all of that. What excites you most about the offense right now? What you're seeing?
Really the connection of the offense, and what I mean by that is like good play, bad play. Like we all keep our same composure. I feel like it's no good play that can put us too high, and I feel like it's no bad play that can put us too low. So I just feel like our connection. If somebody has a mess up, everybody's huddling around them, telling them like next play mentality. Somebody has a good play, they huddling up, telling them good play, but we got to keep going. Like the job's not finished. So my biggest thing I would say is our connection.
Yeah, Dom, you obviously have retention of the playbook now, but how do you go about absorbing the playbook? What are the processes? Are you just reading through it? Are you taking notes, mapping it out? How do you go about learning and absorbing the playbook?
So me, actually, playbook got over with like 120 plays. So we do like week by week install. So when I first got here, I had asked the coach, can I get the playbook like off rip? And I had the wide receiver stats too, like all the signals, all of that. So when I first got here, me and Robert Thomas stayed in the same apartment. So what we would do is like we would say the play, do the signal, we had to line up in it, and if we got it wrong, we had to do 4. We went by 4s. So if we didn't get through the whole rack of 4 correct, we had to start over until we got it right. So I feel like you can't play fast ball until you know where to line up and where the signals. So I feel like once the plays come, if you know where to line up, you will be all right. And then once the plays come, not just knowing what you got, but knowing the concept of the play, that way you could be anywhere on the field. You could be a more versatile player, which I feel that also comes with connection. And also it's really like a want to. Like you gotta want to be in the playbook. You gotta want to know the plays. If not, then once you get out there, you may be kind of timid or not be able to play full speed because you haven't really been in your playbook. So, yeah.
When you were in the transfer portal and deciding where you wanted to go next, how much did you weigh the factors of like NIL and schools might be trying to entice me to come here versus the developmental aspect of, and I want to go to a place where they might not flash the same NIL deals, but may prioritize my development as a player more?
Honestly, going to the transfer portal, I really didn't care about money because I feel like you get your money when you put the work in. So money didn't really play a part. I chose Georgia for how physical we are, physical team, connected team, and how they develop players on and off the field, and how they develop just more than ones and the twos. Like most places you go, they only like once they got their starters, that's what they focus on. Here in Georgia, like he coach anybody from the ones to the walk-ons to a guy that's walking down the street. So I just feel like that's bigger than money if you get developed, because you can choose more money but not get developed the right way, and it can hurt you on the back end, or you can take a pay cut and get developed the right way and win on the back end. And I feel like, you can't let money drive you, because if the money not there, then you ain't want to do it no more. You got to have a passion for what you do, and that's just in life, I feel like. So.
You came from Missouri as a first team all SEC pick.
Yes, sir.
How did you view last year at Georgia? Like, did it meet your own expectations for how you?
Honestly, I was just happy to be here. It was in like a new environment, fresh start with some of the guys that last year that I was watching on TV. Like, like these guys are nice, like they hard. So, and then coming in and them like welcoming me with like open arms, it shows you like how much character like Georgia has. Like you would think a team that won 2 national championships, they'd be cocky and think they got it all figured out, and that wasn't the case at all. They actually welcomed me with open arms, and their work ethic to get better the next day after a win just what really like drew me, because like, okay, these guys want to get better, they compete and they help each other get better, and then that's why that's why we such a dominant force to be reckoned with on the field. I feel like it all come back to that connection piece. So Honestly, I don't really care about stats and stuff. As long as we win as a team, that's all I care about. Because when you got team success, is when your individual success will come. But if it's the other way around, then the team can kind of crumble from the inside out.
You mentioned Janelle there a little bit there. I mean, how has it kind of been going one-on-one with him a lot more in spring this year? And how have you seen him kind of develop, and how have you gotten to learn a lot more from him during that process?
Janelle is his own person, but I would say he like a miniature version of like Taki. They got the same body type, play very, very physical. Along with all of the other DBs, I just seen them all come a long way from having who we had last year to having who we have this year. A lot of those young guys really learn from the vets, and you could tell by how they go about their business, how they go about practicing, and just how they carry themselves as young men. And what I've learned about Jonelle is just basically the same thing I asked Taki, like what position does a DB not want to be in? What are you looking for on this down, on this conversion? Is there a certain call you got to go to when we stacked? Just things of those natures, just kind of try to pick his brain from a defensive standpoint.
Got time for one more.
What kind of improvement have you seen out of Arian this spring? Coach said that he had made a couple big plays on Saturday.
Really, honestly, probably just his like overall demeanor. I'm not saying that from like a negative standpoint, just it's probably what I've seen the most overall demeanor and swag on the field. He's probably say like the bright light of the room. Always uplifting, always in a good mood, ready to practice. So I'd probably say he like the spark plug of the room. They get all of us going. So that's probably like the biggest thing I've seen from him. Also, he stepped into like that leadership role in the room. So that's probably the main thing.
Thanks, Del.
Thanks, Tom.
No problem.